Hi guys, Crystal from Dreamline Design here, and today we are going to talk about the pen tool. This is one of my essential tools. We've already talked about a few of the essential tools. We only have a few left to discuss. Today we're going to talk about the pen tool. The pen tool is used to create shapes. It's great for creating your initial shape when you're making cloth pad patterns, and we'll just jump right into it. So basically, the pen tool, you start with a click, and you click, and each time you click, it adds an anchor point. You can add as many anchor points as you would like. You can finish it off making an enclosed shape by clicking back to the original anchor point. This is a joined path, meaning that all of these segments are joined. Okay, so I'm going to delete that and make something that looks a little bit more like a pad pattern. So, and the shortcut for the pen is P. I didn't discuss that last time because I just usually don't use it, but you can use it. Let's see if we can just get something similar to the Titan real quick. Now this isn't going to be to scale by any means. Trying to get the smart guide to pop up. The purple guides that you see are your smart guides. Anyways, it's not going to pop up apparently. Now we're going to talk about adding, and well, we'll go ahead and talk about the anchor point tool. This is where the magic happens, because right now this is just a bunch of lines. Not significant, you know, if you're just going for a shape that is straight lines, this is how you're going to get it. I wouldn't suggest freehanding it all. I generally start with making some guides for the wings, and I do the wings, and then I create my flares. But for the sake of this video, just showing you how it works, this is how we're doing it today. The anchor point tool, if you click on the path, you can drag it. You can create curves. You can create it any way you want. And these right here, they're called handles. These allow you to adjust each side of the curve or the line. And so if I pull this way, I'm adjusting this part. If I pull this way, I am adjusting this way. So we're going to undo all of that. And I'll just kind of show you something that's similar to my Titan, which is a shop favorite. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, like we talked about before, and get my general selection tool. What we talked about in the last videos, we will always be building on what we learned in previous videos. So if I talk about something that you don't know, just go back and watch, and you should be able to get caught up. So we're going back with the anchor point tool. And by the way, you can get this by right-clicking, because originally it will show the pen. Right-click, and you will get this menu here. So what we're doing is just using the anchor point tool to create curves to make our shape. So this is kind of how I did the Titan. And you guys know from watching the previous video, I kind of like to work my patterns in segments like this. So that's pretty much the gist of it. You use the handles. I like to make shapes that are curved like this too, like one side's in and one side's out. It just makes a really nice curve. It's endless. It depends on where you place your anchor points, what shapes you're going to get, how you do your curves, and all of that. So let's say that we don't like some of these anchor points. We want to get rid of some of them. You can do that by coming up here, right-clicking, and clicking Delete Anchor Point. Then you can click on the anchor point that you want to delete. That gets rid of it. Sometimes you may want to do this because you decide you didn't need that one and it can interfere with your curves. Maybe you wanted something a little bit more simple. The less anchor points you have, the more simple your pattern is going to be. If you, let's say you don't like it, it's too plain, you want to add some spice to it, you can add anchor points by going to the same menu, right click, add anchor point, and you can add the anchor point. This gives you 2 more handles on either side of this anchor point that you can adjust again by going to your anchor point tool. Now you can create all kinds of funky shapes and stuff. So it's just, the pen tool is essential, really. It just is. It's far easier than, sure, you could make a line, you could make another line, and make another line and use the direct selection tool and connect them all, but there's no need to do that, because you're going to find later in the process you want a joined shape in order to add the core pattern and things like that. So this is the pen tool. I think I've pretty much covered everything. Like I said, you can get the direct selection tool and you can adjust that way. You can grab pathways. We discussed that in the last video. So I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can adjust once you have put the pen tool down. One thing I want to cover on the pen tool is that if you notice, if you hover over let's see, if you hover over something like this, it's going to give you a minus point. What if you don't want that? You want to build off of that anchor point. You click shift and you'll get an asterisk. You see the asterisk next to the pen? That allows you to start from another point that already exists. So that's another important thing about the pen tool. The pen tool also operates on the same shift logic. You can hit shift and you can get straight lines. You can get a straight diagonal line, a straight side to side line by clicking shift, a straight up and down line, and that's what you're going to get if you hold shift. So if you need a perfectly straight line, you can always hold shift. So that pretty much covers it. If you guys have any questions about the pen tool, let me know and I will be sure to answer. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe for more videos on cloth pad pattern making. Thanks.